Welcome back to JSA TV and JSA Podcast, where we're covering the latest stories, trends, and innovations from leaders across the digital infrastructure industry. And we are at PTC, wrapping things up just about here, day 3 at PTC in beautiful Honolulu, Hawaii. And I'm joined now by Kurtis Friesen. He's the head of North America at the International Data Center Authority. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Keely. I'm having a fantastic time.
Yeah, I think we're all kind of seeing everybody's running on fumes, but it's still just such a great environment here on day 3 at PTC.
I am exhausted in a very exhilarating way. Like you said, beautiful and windy Honolulu. It's been a bit windy the last couple of days, but it's been nice.
Yes, we all have that nice beachy hair look at this point, but you know what? No complaints. We're in Honolulu. So, but you guys have quite a lot going on at IDCA. But first, before we dive into that, can you just give us a quick background on who you are and how you help serve the data center industry?
Yeah, you bet. So the International Data Center Authority does training and certifications for data center operators. We also do facility audits and facility certifications, and we do a lot of government consulting as well. So between those 3 divisions, we have a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you had a big piece of news semi-recently with the appointment of a new chief development officer with Buddy Reiser. Of course, he's no stranger to the industry and how it works, so I'll let you take it from there.
Yeah, we are really thrilled about that. In fact, the genesis of that really was back last summer. We were hosting an African country. The Minister of IT and her entire delegation came out for a tour of Loudoun County. And we started off at Buddy's office, and he kind of, went over somewhat of his playbook of what he's been able to accomplish and how over the last 20 years, because this particular country is very eager to transition from an agricultural-based economy to a digital economy. There's already undersea cable going into the country. They need a little bit of hand-holding and are utilizing the IDCA to help guide them and build that roadmap for them to develop this digital economy. So we gave them a tour of Loudoun County. In fact, one of the stops on the tour was one of JSA's clients, Powerhouse Data Centers, and the shell that Powerhouse was building for Cyrus One, I believe. And we toured Sabi as well. So it was great for them to be able to see, the kind of the before and after a shell being built, and then the completed thing. And then we kept that conversation going with Buddy, and he was, really excited to be able to apply his skills and experience and everything that he's been able to accomplish in Loudoun County over the last 20 years. And apply that to some of these other emerging markets and developing economies. So we're engaged. I can't say the names of the countries, but later this week, Mehdi Periavi and I and Buddy will be heading to the Middle East to a couple of different countries there. So I get home later today. And then we leave again on Friday, and then we'll be gone all of next week as well.
Well, what's the saying? No rest for the weary, right?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, let's stay on that for just a moment with a lot of your international work. What are your key findings there, and how are you continuing to build that bridge?
Well, that I'm going to leave all the smart stuff for Buddy. I'll be there in a diplomatic capacity as the head of North America and just try to keep my mouth shut and shake hands, right? But there's a lot of exciting work to be done in terms of laying the groundwork, bringing in the proper infrastructure, and setting up future-proofing economies and digital transformation for these developing countries, not just in the Middle East, but in North Africa and in Asia.
Yeah,
and many, many more to come.
And then back here at home, still a lot going on. You just finished up a pretty detailed audit for the state of Indiana, and you have hopes to replicate that. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we started this infrastructure audit for the state of Indiana about just under a year ago, and that had started from a conversation that came out of us training. Their deputy director of IT went through some IDCA training and certifications, and realized that the state kind of had their backs against the wall and needed to to get it together. They have a primary and a DR and an edge facility, and they actually lost their lease on that edge facility, and realized that they were running some very, very critical applications out of all three of those, and if they didn't figure out what to properly put in place, the state could potentially shut down. Right? We're talking about healthcare, welfare, health insurance, et cetera, payroll for the entire state. So we went in and did an entire audit and assessment of phase one is on the infrastructure level. Phase two will actually be on the application level. It'll be even a lot more labor intensive. And we were able to identify a lot of gaps and a lot of weaknesses. And once we provide our recommendations report, they're going to be in a way better position, again, for future proofing. And this, Keely, this is an engagement that absolutely has to be replicated with all the other 49 states. They all, whether they know it or they don't, this is something that needs to happen. And kudos to Indiana for really stepping up and setting that bar, because they'll be the leaders in that space, and setting an example for all the other states moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and with some good guidance as well, we might add. So that's great. And then before we let you go here, do you want to talk to us a little bit about the consulting engagements that you guys can get involved in?
Yeah. So also now, again, with Buddy coming on board, and with Northern Virginia now kind of reeling back a bit on all the development that's been going on. I mean, they're essentially out of power to sell, right? And that has now created opportunities for other states to step up. So I and Buddy and Mehdi Pariavi, our founder and chairman, will be engaging with other states and other municipalities, again, to help lay that groundwork, to provide some feasibility studies, and to engage with the economic development divisions to make sure that that the proper steps are in place and the right PR is in place to make sure that their constituents know that the major benefits that they can receive from being open to data center development.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of economic growth opportunities there that the right education around would help the industry exponentially. So thank you for coming to JSA TV.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for all of the great work that IDCA is doing here at home, and then, of course, all across the world. We really appreciate it and look forward to catching up with you again soon.
Absolutely.
All right. And thanks to our viewers for tuning in. Stay connected, everyone.